Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are keeping safe out there, and I hope you're keeping busy enough anyway. I just wanted to let you guys know what I was up to, what I've been up to during the quarantine period, and also why I haven't had the chance to be bored within the past 8 weeks or so. So let me start this off by making a sort of confession. I do have a day job which I actually enjoy, and I've always had a day job while running my freelance video production business. I just wanted to say that for two reasons right now. The first being is that I've never actually told you guys this, and if you don't know me personally, then you probably wouldn't have guessed either, right? The second reason is that my job is also a possible contributing factor to me retaining a bit of normalcy during this lockdown, as I still have to go into work, and that means I get to leave the house legitimately, which I'm counting as a plus. You know, it's without saying that, as with many of us creatives out there, all of my freelance work has been cancelled until further notice. So I figured, why not enhance my skill set? But added to that though, the Adobe CC subscription is not cheap. And I don't even use 50% of the apps that I actually pay for. With that aside though, I've always wanted to explore animation. So off I went headfirst into what seemed the most obvious solution, which was Animate CC. I made my first animation in there, which was a bouncing ball. And it was a simple circle shape that appeared to fall, squish, and then return to its original position. Man, I was gassed about that. So anyway, I played around for a little while and I did some research. So whilst I was on YouTube, I found out there was another app called Character Animator. Now, this is a performance-based animation app, and I was like, this is actually better. So I spent the next 3 days, watching tutorials about how to actually drive this thing before I actually got hands-on with it, right? And then eventually I went into the software and started playing around with it, having to refer to those original videos that I watched a lot. So I was back and forth between the two, trying to figure out how the thing actually worked. So with animation, right, having a pre-built or a pre-rigged character or a puppet to animate is one thing, but being able to edit that artwork or even build your own from scratch, that's another thing. And this is where Adobe Illustrator, which is a vector graphics creator app, comes in. Up to this point, I was quite comfortable with Photoshop and Premiere Pro, and I was actually starting to dabble in After Effects. Illustrator had scared me for the longest while, you know, because I consider myself more of a technical problem solver as opposed to, I suppose, a naturally gifted creative that can generate crazy new ideas out of thin air. And I always kind of looked up to graphic designers and freeform artists for having those kind of gifts, you know, but I was going to have a go anyway. Now that meant that I had to pause Character Animator, go back and learn Illustrator. And I didn't want to do it the cheap way. I was going to handle this like a man. I was going to do it like a boss. So I started from scratch, started from the really basics, and I went through all of the tutorials. I worked my way through those for about a week and a half until I was kind of comfortable with the tools, comfortable with the functionalities of Illustrator. And then I spent a further week creating artwork, just creating portraits, just to get more familiar with the software through repetition. So that was a little bit of an accomplishment throughout the time. So now it was back to Character Animator to pick up where I'd left off, right? Now, admittedly, I cheated a little bit here right now. I wanted to create movement. I just wanted to make something move from here to there. So instead of actually creating artwork from scratch, I downloaded a vector graphic from my asset library that I actually pay for, and I edited it in Illustrator so that I can set it up for rigging, right? There were a lot of issues with the character, and I was constantly back and forth between Illustrator and Character Animator, ironing out the kinks in the puppet, which I named the Young Doctor. So I had to iron out the kinks before he was then ready for any sort of performance. Then after that, I did a test run to make sure that there were no issues, and I did this all the way through the end of the workflow. So I'm talking about from actually writing the script, recording and editing the voiceover, performing the animation in Character Animator, and then finalizing the whole project in After Effects. But the real icing on the cake for all of this though was getting my 4-year-old to do the voiceover for the final version of the cartoon. I was actually so proud of him, and his voice is just too cute on it. So what's next from here on in? I suppose for the longer term, I'm definitely going to continue developing my new skills. The past 8 weeks kind of presented a steep learning curve, but actually it was about a discovery about the possibilities and also the requirements in terms of the tools and the resources that I actually needed to bring a cartoon from concept to the screen. For the shorter term, I think I'd like to actually create a character from scratch. I think I'm going to base it on my son, and I'm going to have him voice his own character. I suppose that way we can both develop new skills, and it could be a good bonding opportunity for us as well. Now, if I can just leave you guys here with two things, I'd say you're never too old, not too young to start anything. And the truth of the matter is, it might not be as difficult as you might think, right? But anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna share the result of what I've been up to for the past 8 weeks. Here's a look at the cartoon that I created. And you guys stay safe out there. I hope you get back to doing what you love real soon, and I hope to see you right back here on my channel sometime in the very near future. So take care out there, man. Peace.
Hey friends, I hope everyone's staying safe. I just want to remind you about ways to stay safe from the virus. 1. Wash your hands plenty. And 2. Keep your distance. That's it for now. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time.